Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy Wednesday night to join me. I really do appreciate it. So, tonight we will be talking about universal basic income because it's a reoccurring theme that we've had here on the channel before, and now more than ever, with so many new people joining, you feel me? And obviously, all the love for Bernie Sanders. I gotta tell you guys that again, I'm 38 years old, and I've been geeking on, Senator Bernie since around 1999. The moment that I found that there was such a progressive senator, I kind of latched right on. And again, this was pre Y2K. That's how old that I am, and that's how long this guy has been fighting um, against injustice and for and of the majority of all people here in the United States of America, doing what he can in a limited capacity, being an independent senator from a very progressive area in the country. So again, shout out. Seriously, shout out. Like, I'm a Bernie fanatic myself, right? Obviously, I'm a social capitalist. He classifies himself as an independent. I lean more towards socialism than I do any other type of political ideology. I hope to see that there is a viable either replacement of the dual party system, or there is added, parties that have just as much of a chance as winning elections as the two major parties. Obviously, I'm saying that hopefully, in the next 5 or 10 years, there will be a handful of socialist politicians representing, various constituents throughout this lovely country of ours. And so, all that being said, I kind of am like a person that likes to talk about things that will be impactful, if not in the near future, just somewhere right around shortly after, because there's no need to talk about things that are like not working, or people that are clearly criminals that clearly get away with anything and everything they want at the cost of all of us as constituents here in America. I'm specifically talking about good old Donald Trump, that man. But again, so the thing is like, universal basic income has been a recurring, what does it mean? It means that the government gives you money. What does the government give you money for? Well, I mean, think about it as like they give you money because you're on the team, and you didn't have a choice as to whether or not you were going to be on this team. So, as a formality, we'll cut you some cash so that you can be a willful participant in wanting to, hopefully further and or at the very least not be harmful to the nation's ultimate goals moving forward. And through social cohesion, and through equitable opportunity, I feel like all of these things are definitely possible. And I was rhetorically addressing a question, right? Like, what is UBI? Because again, there's a lot of haters out there, and I don't really understand why. I understand to myself that if they do have any sort of capacity to hate, you kind of maybe got to check their credentials, see what their background is. I mean, most notably, if people are going to hate on things like social welfare programs or socialists in and of themselves, these are probably the people that own the very factors of production that benefit from the exploitation of marginalized people and vulnerable people. So clearly, they will never have a really good thing to say about any sort of welfare program, because once the government takes care of you, then you are no longer forced into economic servitude, so that you are winning or playing a no-win game. If you don't participate, you're not alive, and if you do participate, a few people get rich and you have the opportunity to keep your life. None of that makes any sense. That's all that I'm saying. That type of logic, like, because that's what it is. The government should give you money. The government should give everyone money. Now, again, I just, I can't understand. I can't put a reasonable explanation to my mind as to why people would not want people to receive governmental benefits. And at the very least, you could even understand that if you were a person that didn't want to receive benefits for whatever reason, if you did not want a check from Uncle Sam, I mean, hey, more power to you. You don't have to take it. Now, again, I would argue that 99.9% of people, including those people that would say that they would not get that money because of whatever reason, are gonna get it anyway, right? And that's all that I'm saying is universal basic income is the thought that the wealthiest country and nation in the history that we know of or that we're told can afford it. That's it. That's why. That's why everyone deserves a check every single month from the government, because our government can afford it. Now, anything to the contrary is false. It's absolutely false. It's detrimentally false. Because have you looked outside? You know, I mean, you kind of understand that the majority of the world's wealth is owned by just a literal handful of people, and you know, kind of putting that into contrast with the idea that I think the world now is populated on the surface with somewhere around 8 to 9 billion people. You know, so like I'm just thinking to myself that like universal basic income is getting to be on the same sort of rhetoric as a basic human right. Just so much as that you are born and you should be able to enjoy clean air and clean water, and you know, with those things you can be you can present yourself with good hygiene. You can do you can be more social. There's so many benefits to what you can do as a citizen in your country, and moreover, the possibilities of actually living a good life. And again, the people that don't want you to live a good life have an intrinsic interest in making sure that you do not even consider what it would be like if you weren't completely dependent on another person's niceness. You know, I mean, do private individuals view themselves as owners of niceness, right? I mean, it's okay for, you know, the boss of a company to make 100 times more than the lowest paid employee because why? Like, you know, I mean, I'm not sure. Pretty sure the lowest paid employee does way more work than the guy that literally sometimes just kind of goes on vacation and collects checks. Again, something that a working class, blue collar, middle class, like these are things that most people don't even understand. They can't even grasp that, right? So I don't know. UBI is a good idea. It's not just a good idea, it's basically a human right. Why is it a human right? Because without it, good luck. That's why. Without social welfare, y'all realize that most of the country would be going through a literal famine. You realize that people over the age of 65 would probably not make it to the age of 66. I mean, again, the implications of such are beyond all of the stupid people out there who don't quite conceptualize and grasp how very much involved the federal government is in all of our lives, and how our continued aversion to the idea that somehow private interest is better or overweighs the government's interest in keeping all of us healthy is ludicrous. Like, we gotta be healthy in order for us to be able to work. And in order for us to be healthy, we need to feed ourselves. In order to feed ourselves, we need a place to live. In order to have a place to live, we need a job. In order to have a job, we need to be able to have all of those aforementioned things. It's kind of like a vicious cycle, right? You kind of like have to have not just one thing, but all of them in order for it to work. And so by providing people with a check from good old Uncle Sam, you are in fact only ensuring that your likelihood of survival is just a little bit higher, and that you're able to enjoy a kind of quality of life that the people who sell you this idea that you can achieve it one day on your own terms by working for them to make them wealthy, you can experience that, and you don't got to be stupid rich. You don't got to exploit people. You don't have to be the owners of anything. You can just like own your own dignity, and you can own your own self, and you can be you can uphold your own morals and ethics and religious or non-religious beliefs or whatever it is, free from the government, kind of making your life a living hell. That's all that I'm saying. And this can be achieved, ironically, with the involvement of the government. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more, right? Just a little bit more. Just making it so that the government, instead of spending trillions of dollars of annual GDP on things that we don't even get to see where they go or have audits performed, or the last time I checked, both the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, CIA, the Pentagon, I mean, these guys lose trucks of money every single day. So like instead of losing trucks of money, I mean, couldn't you just literally tell whoever it is that's running the AI program to just cut some checks for everybody, because like that's where it will be most impactful. I'm just saying, UBI, I'm just saying. So in 2035, when all of us are getting checks, because people like myself and people in the future that work close together, not just with myself, but with other like-minded people, that of the likes of like people like Sanders and all these other people, again, like UBI is coming. And again, it's unfortunate that angry boomers and Xers are making life so much more difficult than it has to be. So do your own research. Google UBI, look into it, see what your thoughts are, and then continue to listen to me rant and rave about UBI into the future, because I will be talking about it until it ultimately happens. And that's just, whether it takes 5 years or 10 years, your boy ain't planning on going nowhere. Anyways, listen, I hope that you guys are well. I'm getting out of character here. You guys take care of yourselves. I think I'm done making videos tonight. I wanted to make 4, but I really didn't have anything to talk about tonight, and my coffee's cold, and now I gotta go rewarm it, and I gotta go gather myself, because I just got back in, and yeah, that's what I got going on. My night, everything's been going okay, you feel me? Everything's alright. I think midlife crisis time, or whatever, I think that's kind of wrapping itself up. Summer is here, so I love desert summers, whatever. Those are really cool. Those make me happy. Sunlight makes you happy. If you don't spend at least 10 to 15 minutes in some direct sunlight, you can definitely work on that a little bit. And I'm not a doctor or anything, but you'd be surprised at how much more happier of a person you'd be with just about 12 to 15 minutes of sunlight. But again, I know nothing. Don't believe me. Just Google it. It'll save you so much more time. But, or would it? Because if you just believed me and took my word for it, you wouldn't do that. And then you would just find out that it's true. And then, I don't know. But that's all I got going on. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was trying to shave earlier. I'm trying to, learn how to, groom my beard. So that's what I got going on. Trying to groom my beard. I think that's been pretty cool. I've been trying to, yeah, so I mean, a lot of things that are going on currently. I'm way into cereal right now. I'm on a cereal binge. Not sure why, but it happens. So I have nothing else to say. It's kind of weird, but I'll post the videos now. Thanks again for watching. Seriously, I really appreciate it. I think I gotta go. Alright? You guys have a really good night. My name is Albert. This is Vlogs About Nothing. Bye.